Olá pessoal, tudo bem? Vamos falar hoje um pouquinho sobre a iniciação esportiva, tá? A iniciação no esporte. Então, vale muito a pena a gente parar e pensar um pouco, e eu vou fazer algumas provocações aqui para vocês, vou trazer algum material para que a gente possa pensar um pouco, né, nos nossos papéis como profissionais, né, e é aqui o papel da psicologia, né? Qual o papel da psicologia na iniciação esportiva? É trabalhar assim com os pais, com a equipe técnica, com o treinador, né? Para que estes diferentes agentes que estão ali possam conseguir olhar para a criança que está participando do processo de iniciação esportiva. Tá? Vou trazer alguns pontos para a gente pensar. Tá? Eu vou trazer alguns pontos, depois vou trazer um vídeo que traz uma provocação para a gente pensar a respeito disso. Tá bem? Bom, deixe-me passar aqui a minha lista. Isso. Então, o que nós temos? Primeiro ponto que eu acho que é interessante a gente observar, eu estou falando aqui, obviamente, do esporte enquanto aquele esporte que busca o rendimento. A gente sabe que o esporte ele tem, né, vários diferentes tipos, né, de rotinas de prática, né, ou de objetivos enquanto uma prática. Ele pode ser um esporte de lazer, ele pode ser um esporte escolar, ele pode ser um esporte social, ele pode ser, né, uma forma de intervenção social. Nós temos vários projetos interessantes. Ele também pode ser, sim, né, um esporte de rendimento, né, onde se busca o rendimento, e ele pode ser também um esporte de alto rendimento, onde se busca o alto rendimento, né? São todas coisas que têm as suas nuances, né? Não são exatamente iguais. E talvez tenha ainda outras possibilidades, né, do esporte. O esporte como reabilitação, o esporte, né, então ele pode ganhar diferentes funções. O esporte por si só, né, ele por si só, ele é neutro. Ele é uma ferramenta, né, é uma manifestação humana, né, da nossa cultura humana, né, produziu esse fenômeno que é o esporte. Né? O esporte ele tem um aspecto lúdico, né? Ele contém em si analogias, né? Lutas, brincadeiras, competições, enfim. E o que acontece é que nós, né, o esporte enquanto rendimento, né, enquanto competição organizada, ele se tornou um mercado gigantesco, né, um mercado enorme. O número de profissionais envolvidos, né, e aí desde a iniciação, porque tem um enorme número, né, de não apenas de profissionais, mas de negócios, né, escolinhas, clubes, né, profissionais das mais diferentes áreas. Então, só nesse mercado de trabalho, nesse mercado mesmo, né, de oferta de serviços, já é um mercado enorme, né, no país e no mundo inteiro, né? E se a gente for subindo, né, e pensando no esporte de rendimento, a gente vai começar a ver toda a indústria de materiais, né, a indústria que é gigante, né, os grandes players do mercado, né, são empresas multinacionais gigantescas que vendem o material esportivo. Além disso, a gente vai pegar toda a mídia envolvida, né, são também conglomerados bilionários, também, né, de envergadura internacional, são empresas multinacionais que dominam todo um sistema de comunicação, né? Então, quando a gente está olhando, né, alguma criança se inserindo nesse meio, né, com toda essa estrutura que está sobre, né, todos os patrocínios, todas as indústrias envolvidas, toda a mídia, né, a indústria de divulgação, enfim, né, tudo que tem muita, então tem muitos interesses em volta, né, do esporte, muitos, interesses poderosos, né, interesses muito grandes. Quando a criança está entrando, ela não sabe disso, ela está entrando, né, ela vai fazer porque ela gosta, porque ela acha divertido, porque ela, né, ou pode ser também, né, pode ser que quem bota a criança no esporte é o pai e a mãe, né? É o pai que quer, a mãe que é o pai que sonha que o filho seja jogador, que seja, sei lá, que pratique, a mãe que sempre quis fazer patinação e quer que a filha faça, ou sempre achou lindo, né, a ginástica e acha que a filha tem que fazer, enfim. Mas isso levanta diversas questões sobre a iniciação esportiva, né? A idade de iniciação é uma delas, né? Então a literatura ela vai recomendar que a iniciação aconteça por volta dos 8 anos, né? Alguma coisa assim, né? Alguns um pouquinho mais, alguns um pouquinho menos, depende do autor, né? Mas o que a gente vai ver na prática é que há crianças sendo colocadas em escolinhas, né, aos 3 anos, aos 4 anos, né, 5 anos, tem competições, né, fraldinha, tem competições organizadas com crianças muito pequenas. Então o que acontece é que há uma precocidade, se começasse aos 8 anos, já haveria uma precocidade muito grande. Porque a criança é colocada ali, ela começa já a entrar num ambiente, né, numa rotina de treinos, ela já começa a acontecer uma especialização, né, uma especialização precoce, em vez de ela ter uma formação ampla motora, né, uma formação motora ampla, onde ela possa ter desenvolver diversas habilidades com os pés, habilidade com as mãos. Muitas vezes a criança já está nessa idade já se especializando, né? O que não é o adequado, né? Só o fato de ela já estar praticando uma modalidade aos 4 anos, né? Apenas uma modalidade, ao invés de ter contato, né, com diferentes tipos de modalidades para formar um repertório motor amplo, né? Só isso já configura uma especialização precoce, né? O que não é saudável para as crianças, né? E nem para a carreira, né? Porque o que acontece? Quando uma criança se especializa precocemente, vamos pegar, por exemplo, no tênis, né? O tênis, se uma criança desenvolve habilidades motoras muito específicas muito cedo, vamos dizer assim, pega um treinador e esse treinador começa a trabalhar muito fortemente ali, né, aos 9 anos, 10 anos, a direita do guri. O guri vai desenvolvendo a direita, fortalece o braço, fortalece a direita, o guri começa a bater muito com a direita, ele treina muito aquela direita, e quando chega ali para os 10, 11 anos, esse guri, ele tem uma direita muito forte, mas ele só trabalhou a direita, por exemplo, né? E aí o que acontece é que os outros meninos, eles estão fazendo uma formação mais adequada, mais ampla. Eles aprenderam a volear, eles aprenderam a fazer saque, né, saque aberto, saque no corpo, saque, eles aprenderam a controlar melhor o saque, sacar mais adequadamente. Eles sabem jogar no fundo, eles sabem jogar na rede, eles sabem dar um drop shot, eles, né, vão, mas eles assim, eles não ficam especializados em nada. Né? Eles vão fazendo tudo, e como eles fazem tudo, eles não são tão bons assim numa coisa específica. Eles sabem, né, um backhand, né, o backhand deles funciona, enfim. Mas o guri que se especializou no forehand, né, e está batendo muito forte com a direita, né, o que acontece é que aos 10 anos ele ganha tudo, porque o menino lá, ele saca, né, e ele responde aqui com uma pancada de direita, e como ele consegue botar a bola, né, onde ele quer, enfim, e bate com muita força, o menino não chega, até porque é um menino de 10 anos, não tem perna para chegar do outro lado da quadra, né? E aí o que acontece é que esse guri aos 10 anos, aos 11 anos, ele ganha tudo, né? Ele ganha tudo porque ele tem uma direita muito forte. Só que ele não aprendeu o resto do esporte, né? Ele não tem um repertório amplo, um repertório motor amplo, um repertório técnico amplo. Ele só sabe fazer uma coisa, ele está especializado. O que acontece é que aos 14, os outros meninos também vão ter uma direita forte. Eles vão ter uma direita que é uma pancada também. Só que eles vão ter uma direita que é pancada e eles sabem bater de backhand, eles também sabem volear, eles também sabem fazer saque, né? Fazer saque e voleio, eles sabem fazer um drop shot, eles sabem fazer um bom spin na bola, né? Eles têm um amplo repertório. E o que acontece é que, sei lá, aos 14, esse menino não vence mais nada, né? Ele perde de todo mundo. Por quê? Porque o cara só botar no revés dele, ele não sabe, né? Ele não sabe bater com a esquerda, ele só sabe bater com a direita. E aí o que acontece é que se bota na mão ruim dele, ele volta uma bola fácil e o cara brinca, né? O cara passeia em cima dele, né? O cara não vai para a rede, o cara dá uma curta, o cara não vai para a rede, não aproveita as oportunidades. O que acontece é que esse cara vai perder o resto da vida. Por quê? Então aos 10, aos 11, aos 12 ele vence todo mundo, aos 16 ele não vence ninguém, né? Por quê? Porque houve uma especialização precoce. Então, o que acontece, né, é que a busca de resultados muito cedo, né, então esse cara brilha num momento, mas ele acaba com a carreira, né, desse cara no futuro, né? Quem busca resultados muito cedo, né, essa busca e essa entrada na competição e necessidade de vencer muito cedo pode levar a sérias distorções na própria formação do atleta, né, como um atleta para o futuro, né, porque ele não tem que vencer aos 12 anos, ele tem que vencer aos 20, ele tem que vencer aos 18, né, ele tem que vencer na carreira, né, ele tem que vencer, sei lá, aos 17 ele tem que vencer, não aos 12. Aos 12 ele não tem que vencer nada, ele está no processo de formação, né? Então, só que acontece, então a gente tem o sujeito que começa muito cedo, ele é introduzido numa rotina de treinos muito cedo, ele começa, e ele mesmo, na verdade, entrou para brincar, mas porque ele é bom, porque é uma criança que desenvolve bem, ela é habilidosa, ela tem um jeito para aquele esporte, ele começa a ser inserido cada vez mais dentro de uma rotina que começa a ter exigências que são praticamente profissionais, né? Tu bota uma criança no mundo profissional muito cedo, aos 10 anos, né, ele já está com uma rotina muito pesada, né? Aos 8 anos já está com uma rotina muito forte, aos 12, né, tá treinando regularmente, participando de competições, e o modelo de competições que se usa em muitos esportes ainda é um modelo adulto, né, onde é mata-mata, né, e o que acontece é que esses modelos eles são excludentes, né, muitas vezes a criança viaja, vai para outro estado, né, chega lá, na primeira rodada ele perde e já tem que voltar, quer dizer, a experiência da criança é muito frustrante, né? Tu viaja, tu te prepara, e o modelo da competição, por reproduzir um modelo adulto, que é racional no modelo adulto, tu vai lá, tu perdeu, volta para casa e deu, mas para a criança isso é muito frustrante, né? Então modelos com chaves, modelos onde ser o campeão da competição te dá a oportunidade, né, mais de uma oportunidade para competir, para participar, para te inserir na competição. O próprio material, né, com o qual se treina, né? Então treinadores que vão botar uma criança, sei lá, de 9 anos, 8 anos, 10 anos mesmo que seja, né, para treinar com uma raquete de tênis de adulto, né, uma raquete de tênis grande, um pouco mais leve, mas a cabeça da raquete longe, né, do cabo, enfim. Existem materiais, né, adequados que a quadra é enorme para uma criança, ou botar treinador de futebol que bota a criança para treinar num campo, né? A criança tem que correr horrores até chegar do outro lado com uma bola para adulto, né? Uma bola dura, pesada, que tudo isso implica em esforço para a qual a criança não está preparada, lesões, né? Por quê? Porque a criança está sendo exigida, a raquete é quase o tamanho dela, né? A bola tem um peso e tem uma dureza, né, que a estrutura óssea da própria criança, a força da criança, né, ao bater naquela bola, vai machucar. Então, o que acontece? Né? Se pega o modelo adulto, pega o esporte e joga, em vez de dividir a quadra, né, baixar a rede, usar bolas, por exemplo, no tênis, bolas mais macias, que andam menos, né, porque é muito frustrante no tênis no início, né? Tu bate na bola, a bola respinga, né? Ela vai para longe, enfim. Por quê? Porque é difícil de controlar muito rápido a bola, né? E aí, como eu disse, se eu uso a bola oficial, o menino nunca chega na bola, né? Então é muito complicado. Então, o que acontece? A própria relação com os colegas, né? Os colegas muitas vezes acabam, dependendo do ambiente de treino, né? Todos meio que competem uns com os outros, todos estão disputando um espaço, né? naquele time. A relação com o treinador, que às vezes, né, pode ser saudável, pode ser bacana, pode ser excelente, e por vezes também são relações mais abusivas, né, aos gritos, o modelo do treinador gritando na beira da quadra, né, esbravejando, enfim, né, e o tipo de relação, né, que o treinador estabelece com essas crianças. Muitos esportes, né, eles vão ter uma rotina de treinos e uma exigência, né, que vão fazer com que a criança ela não possa ter um convívio social normal, né, vai afastar da escola, ela não vai poder participar das festinhas, porque muitas vezes está competindo, está fora, não vai poder ter um desenvolvimento escolar regular, né, porque vai ter que estar dedicado aos treinos e muitas vezes não vai participar da vida escolar de maneira geral. Então, depende. Então, por exemplo, aqui no Brasil, né, é uma evolução, mas ao mesmo tempo, né, carece de reflexão, né? A gente pensar no estabelecimento das equipes olímpicas permanentes, né, que é uma coisa que em alguns esportes se fez, só que para a criança participar daquele centro olímpico nacional, né, e fazer parte da equipe olímpica nacional, ela tem que ir para um determinado estado. Ela é do Maranhão, mas tem que treinar em Santa Catarina, ela tem que treinar em determinados locais, porque é ali que está o CT, né, o centro de treinamento daquela modalidade. E é legal porque ali tem todo um equipamento, tem uma equipe técnica, né, é muito bacana, treinadores qualificados, mas ao mesmo tempo, onde é que está a família, né? E são bastante jovens, né? Aos 10 anos não moram mais com os pais, 12 anos não, né, estão longe da família. Então, e é uma criança, tem 12 anos, tem 13 anos, mas é uma criança, né? E nesse sentido, né, visto que esses atletas muito jovens, né, que estão iniciando suas carreiras, eles estão bastante isolados socialmente. Qual é o papel da própria equipe técnica, né, que está olhando para essa criança? Se eu pego um fisioterapeuta, não. Eu tenho que olhar para o músculo, eu tenho que olhar para o ligamento, para a estrutura, para aquela articulação, eu tenho que ver as questões puramente, né, se é um médico, não, a questão é se tem ali, né, uma infecção, se está acontecendo um problema médico, eu vou tratar isso, né, quer dizer, e a criança que está ali, né? Nós temos um papel também, né, que não é apenas de proteger o músculo ou de proteger aquela estrutura, né, física da criança, mas também que é uma criança, né? É uma criança e precisa ser olhada como tal, tá? Então, para fazer essa reflexão, quero que vocês assistam esse vídeo que eu vou trazer agora para vocês. Eu peço que vocês, é um vídeo um pouquinho antigo, ele está gravado em SD, a qualidade não é muito boa, mas o conteúdo é muito bacana, tá? Então eu peço que vocês prestem atenção no conteúdo. Ele tá legendado, tá? Então, mas prestem bastante atenção e façam uma leitura refletida. Pensem, né, no papel dos pais, pensem, né, no papel da equipe, pensem em você como, né, um profissional que vai fazer parte, né, desses profissionais, desses técnicos que vão estar em torno, né, dessas crianças, né, quais implicações, né, qual o seu papel quando está olhando então para uma criança que está num processo de iniciação esportiva. A psicologia do esporte vai aqui trabalhar exatamente com a ideia de que, bom, eu tenho que olhar para essa criança, né? Eu tenho que lembrar que ela é uma criança, né? Que tem aí aspectos emocionais, que tem aspectos desenvolvimentais, que tem aspectos emocionais, né? Enfim, dos mais variados, né? De relacionamento, enfim, que essa criança precisa ser olhada como criança, né? Ela precisa ser cuidada como criança, tá bem? Então, assistam o vídeo, façam uma reflexão e depois nós vamos ter uma atividade sobre isso, tá? Uma atividade que vocês vão ter que fazer sobre essa reflexão da iniciação esportiva, tá bem?
This is her second sport. Tennis is really her first sport. So maybe one day she'll be the next Venus or Serena. We're hoping.
You do it all the way around.
Parents are hoping and paying more than ever before.
What?
These kids are paying anywhere from $500 to $1,500 just to join the team, and then they have to buy all the accessories. By the time you're done with the hotel fees and everything, you might have spent $5,000 on your kid by the end of the year.
Joe Cipollone is a softball dad.
It's very competitive today. If you're sitting on the sidelines and you're watching your kids not play, it really gets tough.
How tough?
42-year-old Thomas Junta, a father of two, turned himself into police in the Boston suburb of Reading.
The doctor told me and my family that my dad was dead.
What made this case resonate with so many, what started it all? Passions out of control over a game children played.
The biggest problem in organized youth sports is very simple to explain. Too many adults who want to compete through children.
What's the impact on kids when adults take their games too seriously? Child psychiatrist Alvin Rosenfeld.
I think kids feel that they're going to be winners or they're going to be nothing. I think there's every reason to believe that this overscheduled lifestyle is directly connected to the amount of ADD, depression, eating disorders, etc. that we're seeing.
You're going to start on dismounts?
Brenda Uzelak is the mother of an elite gymnast, and she's a coach.
Series. You do have a lot that the parents, I think, want to live the gymnastic world through their kids. And some of them just really are miserable, but they keep doing it because they want to keep their parents happy. That's usually the type of kid that will be a very talented gymnast, but in the end will burn out.
In fact, 75% of all children drop out of organized sports by age 12. Why? They say it's not fun anymore.
Slow, slow.
Our biggest fear for Kayla is to get in that rut, quit, and then regret.
Good girl.
If she begins to have doubts, should we encourage her to quit because it's taking away her childhood or other aspects of her life that maybe she wants back? And some days, as parents, we're like, you know what? Quit. Pull the plug. Please, let us off this train.
What we are in youth sports to do is to develop better children.
Bob Bigelow's message to parents: stop trying to manage their careers. and just let the kids play.
You're on my team, Nick.
The honest answer is they don't need us. I'm trying to bring the competitive nature of youth sports back to the children, where it belongs.
At the Parkettes Gym in Allentown, Pennsylvania, the elite gymnasts are the jewels in the crown.
You get the blue right over there. Where's this go?
To stay on top, they work 6 days a week, year-round, with fewer than 2 weeks of vacation a year.
Make it look good.
All of them are homeschooled. 7-year-old Ashley Berry's mom studies the elites for signs of things to come.
I look at the older girls.
All the way through your toes, guys.
And I just can't imagine. Come on. In a way, I hope that she decides she doesn't like it, because it's hard. I mean, it's a lot of sacrifices for the family when it gets up to the higher levels.
Who's Nicole Harris?
Nicole Harris, she's like the troublemaker right there.
Nicole Harris is an elite.
Does an excellent job.
She left her family in New York when she was 13 to train at this gym, which meant living with her teammates' families in Allentown. Her coaches say she's a relentless competitor, but her emotions get in the way.
I get very frustrated. Like I want to do something perfect and I can't, and I try over and over, and then I get so mad.
Wait a second. Where are you going?
Nicole. Now, Miss Flexibility. Oh, my utmost challenge. Loves to be on stage. Loves to be number one. Gets very, very upset when she isn't.
You see this? I lost half of that because of Nicole.
5 different moves of Nicole Harris.
1, 2.
At the elite level, the drive for perfection has to come from the girls themselves. And parents are often pulled along for the ride.
Boxes?
Today, Nicole's parents and younger sisters are moving from Long Island, New York to Allentown, saying goodbye to their old life as they follow her Olympic dream.
How old were you when you wrote that? 8?
I thought, yeah.
She wrote that as would be her signature. When she wins gold in 2004.
Yeah.
Nice.
My last day in the OR.
Nicole's mom is leaving a job she's had for 16 years.
I wish you and your family, and especially your daughter, who is the reason for all of this, nothing but the best.
Here. Thank you,
Her younger sister Kim has mixed feelings.
I don't want to leave my friends, and next year's 5th grade, and I want to graduate with all my friends.
Taking care of business!
Nicole gets whatever she wants. Yesterday, I asked for something, and my parents said no. And then my sister asked for 2 things, and I said yes, and my dad took her to get it.
Hi, Dad.
Nicole's dad will keep his job as a New York City firefighter, which means commuting 2.5 hours each way.
Remember this, Chloe?
Yeah.
Look how small you are.
Her parents say Nicole's belief in herself keeps them going.
I say to myself, maybe we should just stop all this. But that's not Nicole. She wants to go and she wants to do this, so we're going. You know, I can't imagine Nicole without it in her life.
Pull up and square out.
Her family may have faith in Nicole, but she doesn't always have faith in herself.
Nice and straight. Straight. Oh. Unbelievable. You gotta believe in yourself. Remember, you don't have to hammer and work so hard. Come on now, nice and straight. Straight legs.
Sometimes it gets very hard, and you're like, I can't do this anymore. I like this pass. You just, I don't have enough rest before. I want to do it. I really do.
You know my answer to that. Talk's cheap, baby.
Nicole, where's your pride? You got to fight through you. You got to fight through this emotional baloney. You know what your problem is? You care too much. Just relax. You're too intense. You're trying too hard. You're working too hard. Just relax. Okay? Just chill out. Just chill out. Okay.
As Nicole's family says goodbye to their old life, Nicole wonders too what she's given up.
I mean, I'd like to see what it'd be like if I didn't do gymnastics. We all do. We all say, what would it be like? We all do. We always talk about that. Come on. I don't think I'd be able to go back to school and feel normal ever again. I don't think I could.
Up and down both feet. Punch front at the end, 5 times.
Nicole Harris is one of 9 elite gymnasts at Parkettes, any of whom could become the next Olympic star.
Come on, Annie, over the top.
I'm 12.
Sharp, sharper, open, and open again.
And I've been elite. This is going to be my 2nd year.
Annie Fogarty is one of the youngest elites.
Just because you're only 12 years old doesn't mean you have to look like a 12-year-old.
Sometimes if like something's aching, your mind's saying, okay, stop. You can't do it anymore. But then your heart's like, you have to do it.
Christina Kosha, known at the gym as Sharky, has had a rocky climb to elite status.
I told her a couple times, I said, look, it's just chewing everybody up. I mean, if you're not going to take that next step, then let's just get out. And she would just look at me and say, no. Okay, Shark, whatever you want.
Krista Jasper's coaches say she's a natural.
She's a performer. She loves to perform. She's an American Idol. She should see an Olympic team eventually. You can't do any less than what I'm asking, or you might as well not do it.
Pressure for these girls is a constant.
Come on, Sharky.
Pressure not only from themselves, but from coaches who point out every bobble, every imperfection.
Do you see this? These are all deductions, okay? Just stay with it.
Coach Donna Strauss says the sport is good for the girls, maturing them beyond their years.
You're in this position, Crystal. I don't care that you don't feel like doing this. I find that teenagers today don't have a work ethic. I said I want it too. Gymnasts have a very good work ethic.
Feet, extend, shoulders back.
And they know how to budget their time, and they know how to strive.
We're going to keep going till we do them.
Donna and her husband Bill Strauss have run the Parkettes gym for over 30 years, using different coaching strategies to turn the hormonal teenage mind into a finely tuned machine.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know about your event, but they're doing great on board.
If you're having a bad day, he'll give you a hug. He'll sit down and talk to you. The big bear hug.
But they played a good cop, bad cop pretty good.
Yeah.
Come on, Donna. They know what they're doing. They got their act together.
I won't comment, but just take that out. I don't want to even see it.
Donna's always more strict and stern with them.
Listen to me, demand.
She'll push them just as hard as she thinks she can push them. And that's what makes champions. That's why Parkettes has the legacy that they have, and that's why they have the elite team that they have.
Where's the dismount? Did you not listen to the following directions?
When Donna wants her way, she gets her way.
It has to have feeling.
What Donna wants from Annie is more star power.
Come on, arms, arms, arms. Sail, Annie, sail. Perform.
My coaches always remind me, you have to have personality, and sometimes I don't.
And back.
Like, smile and be like showy, and sometimes I don't like to do that in front of people.
And if you're not going to work to the level of this group, you're moving back, and that's not a threat, it's a fact. We coach Annie hard. The job that we have to do with Annie is daily.
Don't just jump off.
It's daily reminding her for her work ethic, for her belief in herself, for the constant output.
But if you ask Annie, she wouldn't mind more hugs.
I would like that.
Yeah, I don't think that's something you're ever going to have to worry about. Over-hugging is not likely.
Yeah. Do it tight.
It's the night before the Elite Zone meet. Annie's parents try to keep things low-key. But her coach's expectations are clear. Big smiles and no mistakes. Sharky is exceeding her own expectations.
Come on, Ellie. 10.
Pretty good job.
But Nicole knows she could have done better.
I keep telling you and telling you and telling you, stop second-guessing yourself. Let's show a little bit of maturity here, please.
Annie's coaches are watching her to see how she handles the pressure of competition.
Oh, man, gosh, what the heck was that? Come on, Annie. Come on, Annie.
Well, I try to picture just like me and the beam and nobody else. But sometimes I get nervous. I'm like shaking. I don't like that. I just tell myself to have fun and try my best because that's what really counts.
Her coaches are not pleased with her performance.
Annie, why are you competing? What is the purpose of competition? To try to win? Do your very best? I mean, do you have any goals, or do you just think it's more important to have bobbles so people give you attentions? I mean, what is the purpose of that performance level?
I think she was mad.
We have other stuff that could go in, but we can't put it in because you just aren't ready for it. And I'm not done, because I'm tired. I'm very angry right now at you.
I think she just was talking about you need to focus more in practice.
Oh, yeah. I didn't really get why she said that, but I don't know.
There's some kids walk in here thinking that they're great, even when they're not. Yeah. She does the opposite. Like, she could be really great right now.
I hear where you're coming from. And I think that's the point she was trying to say, you know, treating every day like an important day.
Annie, come here, please.
But it's not an easy thing to do.
Think what you're doing now, though. Stop with the faces.
Are adults asking too much of these girls?
Solomon, could you, help with her?
Child psychiatrist Alvin Rosenfeld says yes.
Just settle yourself down.
Kids are not being permitted to be kids. They're being forced to be professionals. And I think we're robbing their childhood.
They're kids.
Annie, that was a great ball. Stick it.
And if there's not someone there motivating and demanding the finished product, they're not going to put in 100% effort.
I couldn't what? Control it.
Why? So it's all what the coaches demand.
Why? Use your arms instead of your head, and that won't happen.
At the Elite Zone meet in Allentown, Christina Kosha, the one they call Sharky, is feeling confident.
I connected all of my skills and got a really good score. And that got me even more pumped up for floor.
Over. Come on, push it, push. Come on, come on. All right. Let's keep going, keep going. Sit in, sit in. Wrap your head.
On my last pass, I think I got a little bit over anxious and I missed my legs on my double pike and landed on my head and had a little bit of a concussion.
She was having an excellent meet, and when she did that, it's like everything just drains out of you. You know, it's like, oh, you know, now what? You know, it's hard to see him fall like that.
Work your arms on the double A. Okay. Work straight. Right up, right up. Don't let him know it hurt.
Sharky heads back to the gym to prepare for the next big meet, working through tendinitis and Seaver's disease. and inflammation of the growth plate in her heel.
So what did I tell you when your heels were hurting you?
Suck it up.
Suck it up.
Because there's nothing you can do. There's nothing for the heels you can do. So it's like, suck it up. You'll be okay.
That's what I just told her.
Almost all gymnasts go
you got
through
to stick with it.
Olympian Kristen Maloney trained at Parkettes, where her determination to suck it up is legendary.
Did she say when I was done icing?
Now she's on the disabled list of UCLA's gymnastics team.
I've had 4 surgeries on it, had a couple rods put in, had some dead bones scraped out and stuff like that, but it just didn't want to heal.
Elites like Kristen are a challenge for doctors, says UCLA team physician Aurelia Nativ.
Coaches, they've learned to ignore signs of pain, which obviously that's not a good thing.
But Coach Donna Strauss says the ability to deal with pain separates the champions from the rest.
You know, we've had gymnasts that have injuries, and if the doctor tells them it's not going to get worse, and if you can work with the pain, you can do it. And we've had kids able to do that, and some can't, and that has to come from them.
As youth sports become more competitive, with longer seasons and extra practices, doctors say they're seeing more overuse injuries, as many as 8 million every year. Little League elbow, runner's knee, swimmer's shoulder, gymnast's back. All of these were almost unheard of in children 20 years ago, says Dr. Nativ.
Instead of free play that we used to see when we were younger, we're seeing young kids that are exercising from 4 to 6 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week. So we're seeing a lot more problems with burnout, with overuse injuries.
Thank goodness it's Friday.
Been back doing your usual training? Haven't stopped at all?
The gym refers injured girls to Dr. Gregor Hawk.
Okay.
Paige Cipollone missed the last meet due to back pain.
So now if I bring you up and over this way, any pain?
Yeah.
Dr. Hawk looked for cracks in her spine, but didn't find any.
How's your back today?
Despite the pain from overuse, she's cleared for the next competition.
Gymnasts are so very active, we can't do what we do to an average athlete or a high school athlete and put them at rest and let them heal. If we do that, she'll lose her season.
Tall, nice.
Nicole Harris is also working through her back pain.
I think that no matter how much it hurts, you just have to deal with it. And the coaches try to tell me that.
There's a very fine line when you are allowed to step in as the parent. You're like, wait a minute, this is my kid. This will always be my kid. But you have to kind of walk on eggshells with it.
The girls not only learn to work through their pain, but to worry about their weight.
If you don't teach them at a young age how to control their bodies, when they hit 14, 15, you have a big problem.
Nicole, at 14, knows what she eats is of great interest to her coaches.
I just want regular pizza. I want to stop talking about food. They're gonna get it on camera, and then Mrs. Strauss is gonna say, "I don't get that."
Stand up tall.
But just one comment from a coach could send a perfectionist teenage girl down the road to an eating disorder, according to Dr. Nativ.
They're like God sometimes to the gymnasts, and what they say is like gospel to the gymnasts. They need to be very careful.
Okay. If there's meat coming up, you get weighed. I mean, it's the difference between like a quarter pound.
All the way tight.
I didn't have a scale until, I don't know, 6 months ago, because I knew she would be obsessive about it, and she is.
The Parkette coaches say that they show the door to any gymnast with an eating disorder. But like other elite athletes, gymnasts are always at risk of falling into the female athlete triad, a chain reaction that starts with exercising too much and eating too little. That can stop the menstrual cycle, which can lead to brittle bones and premature osteoporosis.
Unfortunately, we have seen athletes in their 20s that have had all of those problems, and they unfortunately some of them have had bones of a 70-year-old.
Overexercising can also delay growth and puberty for a while. which isn't necessarily considered a bad thing in gymnastics.
If you grow 4 inches, it just changes everything. The mass, the body, the frame. If you grow that much, it's just going to make it that much worse.
Short, thin, and prepubescent has been the image of perfection since Olympian Nadia Comaneci first achieved a perfect 10 at 14 years old, 5 feet and 85 pounds. But perfection has a price, says child psychiatrist Alvin Rosenfeld.
If your goal is to be perfect, you always will be inadequate, and you always will have a problem with your self-esteem. If your goal is to be the best you can be and to really try hard, you'll do fine.
Let's go, bar people! Come on! Come on, let it swing, let it swing!
Here at this classics meet in Virginia Beach, gymnasts from around the country will try to break out as up-and-coming stars.
No matter what happens, okay? I want to see you up your performance level. Come on, Annie!
Annie's coaches hope she'll impress the judges.
It's okay, Annie. Keep on going. You gotta make this, kiddo. You gotta make this. Way to give up, Annie. Way to give up.
When I finish it, I just say, thank God I'm done.
Was that a try, what you just did? What kind of a try? Is there such a thing as a quitter's try, like lackadaisical?
Come on, Nicole!
We'll see what Nicole does on floor.
Coach Bill Strauss is worried about Nicole, whether she'll be able to do the double-piked backflip in competition that she couldn't do in practice.
Yep. Every 10th counts, all right? Come on, buddy. You can do it. One, two, up! Come on! Right!
She's doing very well this week. I can see a smile on her face every so often.
A floor routine.
Nicole faced down her fears.
Okay, very good. Don't you think you should do a double layout without a spot?
Now, Sharkey must confront hers.
Then you're going to be choked by me if you miss it, so.
She wouldn't be here if she wasn't good. You just got to believe that. And she'll be fine.
Legs tight, 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 tight. Up.
You want to go get her?
Just relax, honey.
Sharkey's coaches are afraid she's torn her Achilles tendon.
Relax, relax, relax. Can you get her? Because I gotta get Tia. Tia's next.
She'll be okay. She's tough.
Well, she's semi-walking. That's always your goal, to walk out of here. Hello. We'll see what happens. Back to the mill on Monday.
Sharkey's season is over. Now the other girls find out if they've qualified for the national championships. Nicole places 5th. The rest of her teammates, Tia in 6th, Krista in 8th, and Annie in 10th, also qualified. And in 19th place, so does Lou. They've all made the first cut on the long road to the Olympics.
Okay, what are we doing with you? Can you come with us? Probably not. Can we take you home for a little while?
From here, lots of tests and no guarantees. Tonight, Nicole's hard work paid off. But Sharkey learned a hard lesson.
Big stop.
These kids are out there on the spotlight, just by themselves, and they have one shot. And if they're doing a floor routine that they've nailed 50 times in practice, and like a classic, she didn't get up, and she got hurt, that's it. Day's done. Year's done. No nationals, no nothing.
Very good.
Is it worth the sacrifice? How far should kids, parents, and coaches go to pursue a dream?
Cover of Sports Illustrated. The new married Lou.
Christy Phillips went all the way. She started at age 4, moved away from home to train with a better coach at 8, and was crowned the next Mary Lou Retton at 14.
I enjoyed the attention, I enjoyed the popularity, but didn't quite realize what else came with it.
You know, if I didn't perform, if I wasn't the best, knowing that if I didn't make this, those last 8 years of my life that I've lived away from home, that my brothers have eaten ramen noodles for weeks because they don't have money to go to the grocery store, I had all that on my shoulders. I knew that they were counting on me to fulfill a dream and hopefully be able to reimburse, you know, get something tangible out of it, and that didn't happen.
It didn't happen, she says, because puberty hit during an Olympic year.
I became held responsible for the way my body was changing. I can't stop nature, dudes.
Christy was named as a second alternate to the Olympic team in 1988, but she wasn't allowed to go.
You know, and that was like devastation. I didn't win the Olympics. That's what I was supposed to do. Since I didn't do it, I was a failure.
At 17, Christy left a note for her mom, saying she didn't want to live anymore. She says it was a cry for help.
I didn't know who I was. Gymnastics was my life. It was not a part of my life.
At 19, Kristen Maloney did make the Olympics. For her, the sacrifices were worth it.
It's kind of like a dream come true to make the Olympics. It was a hard but good journey that I went through.
Will she try again in 2004?
I don't think so. Because it's a lot of hard work, and to be honest, I don't think my body could take it anymore. I just want to finish out college and figure out what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
What's the most important thing about today's competition? Having fun. You go, girl.
After years of struggling,
Oh, come on.
Christy Phillips has finally figured out what she wants to do with her life.
Better.
She recently opened a gym in North Carolina, where she's more interested in raising self-esteem than in creating champions.
Oh, they're like glass that if you break them too many times, they're not going to be able to put themselves back together. If you stay like this, they're not going to be able to come to you when they're feeling bad. That was an awesome handstand, you silly goose. And sooner or later, all those feelings being stuffed down are going to explode just like a volcano. Go, come on,
6 months after 7-year-old Ashley Berry competed on a broken ankle.
Just don't make it too tight, Bruce.
She broke her other ankle while training for a meet.
Very good, Ash. It's been a hard year.
Oh, try that again.
You know, 2 breaks and 3 months of restriction in training can put a crimp in your style.
Come on, baby, you gotta get 20, come on.
For Ashley's parents, the line between doing harm and nurturing a champion is getting harder to find.
Her poor ankle.
For every 1,000 girls who try to be a champion, maybe 1 or 1/10 of one make it.
Sharp. Nicole, your hips are back.
I love the innocence of childhood when they just know that they're going to go to the Olympics and that's their dream.
There are a lot of gyms, some of which teach gymnastics as a pleasurable sport, some of which aim for the sky. And if you're aiming for the sky, I think you're likely to crash.
It's over.